live from Miami, Florida, and from a little blue box in space. Give me my love. It's Friday night. I screwed it up. I should have gone a little bit later, but that's okay.
It was great. I have no way to stop the timer, but that was you did really well with that. Like, you should open wrestling matches.
I'm not that good. I'm not that good.
Well, I lied about 10 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, you lied. It's like
Did you lie, or were you just chronologically inaccurate?
I like that much better. I was chronologically
I like that. Chronologically inaccurate. Yeah.
What happened was I was like watching Tech Trek. I was like having a good time. Like Miss Amy Nelson was on there, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like not sleep, but like lay down. And I thought, okay, just in case, I'll set an alarm. So I did, and Miss Amy Nelson's beautiful voice just made me lullabied me to bed. And then I woke up and I'm like, Tech Trek is over. The alarm went off and I didn't notice. Oh my gosh, it's 11:18. But fortunately, y'all were still up, so it's good.
Yeah, it actually worked out in my favor because it allowed me time to watch the first 2 episodes of the new Disney cartoon X-Men 97.
Of which there are 2 episodes released. I've seen episode 1, but I don't mind spoilers. I really enjoyed it. In fact, when I was watching it, my sister walked by and she was like, "What's this?" And I was like, "Remember X-Men, the cartoon?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "It ended in 1996. This is it continuing in 1990." Well, I don't remember what year it ended, but
it ended in 97.
7. Oh, okay, so this is it continuing right where it left.
Yeah, I think it had like it premiered in 92, like the fall spring season of like 92 93, and then it ended in 96 97.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great show. I used to watch it all the time. It was really fun to watch that.
Yeah.
X-Men, and I loved where they are now, and I really love well, we'll get right into it in a second because I got to put up a little spoilers thing here. X-Men 97 spoilers, just in case someone's watching this. Oh, we do have someone watching this. Hello. So yeah, this picks up a few months after the original finale. Yeah, exactly. So that's good. So X-Men 97 is just awesome. I especially love the new kind of designs for some of the characters, like especially off uniform, like how Gambit's just kind of chilling in crop tops, and like Wolverine, and they're all playing basketball. I don't know why
they were playing basketball in my first X-Men comic, drawn by Jim Lee, X-Men number 4. Gambit is playing basketball against Wolverine, and it looks almost just like that.
Oh, that's rad. I love the part where he's
find
like
a picture of it.
Yeah, please do. I love the part where he's like where they're like, no powers, and he's like, what about my other powers? And he takes his shirts off, and he looks so buff and like sexy. I should just pull up pull up some pictures as well from the episode. I had no idea. It caught me off guard. I just saw people started tweeting about X-Men 97, but I really had no idea that they were even bringing it back or anything. This is like, it was kind of a surprise to me.
Yeah. The first trailer got released like a month ago or two. Father, was it like a month ago or two?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly when the first trailer came out, but it was fairly recently. They announced it a while back, but they didn't really show much until lately.
Well, yeah. I've been out of touch for a while.
They didn't show us a lick until recently, but I grew up with X-Men 97. X-Men 90 sorry,
X-Men, the original X-Men, yeah.
The original X-Men series actually was like a metaphor for me because I always viewed myself as an X-Men because I was a disabled kid. So I sort of labeled myself as one of the mutants because I wasn't like anybody else that I knew, unfortunately. And I can vividly remember always coming home from school, doing my homework as quick as I could to get in front of my TV with a box of like Fruit Loops or whatever I was having for a snack that day, and watching episodes that I had taped off of TV of the Batman animated series, and
Mhm.
then watching X-Men live when it aired on my local station.
Oh,
It
rad.
was amazing. So
Marcel, I
amazing.
think the X-Men, like, that was like part of their purpose then, and even more obvious, I think now is
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
appeal to people who feel like left, in the margins of
Left out. Yeah.
or left
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Also, the X-Men, the original cartoon is the reason why I love Cyclops, and that's why I get so much shit when I apologize for the live action Bryan Singer Cyclops. But after watching this show, I'm like, they've never gotten Cyclops right in the live action. Because I watched this show and I'm like, this is my Cyclops. Why can't they do this in live action? This is so amazing.
What was that? James Marsden plays Cyclops
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
X-Men films.
Yeah.
Who plays him
James
in the newer ones?
Well, no. Well, in
A
the
younger
in
dude.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
in
but
the
I can't remember.
in X-Men, in the first class
First Class,
trilogy,
right?
it's
He's not in first class.
Ty no, but
Ah,
no, I'm sorry. In is he? Well, he's in Dark Phoenix. I know that.
Yeah, he's
Um,
in Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix.
yeah, isn't it Ty Sheridan?
it
I
says here
think.
James Marsden, and then in X-Men '97 it's Ray Chase. Oh, Tim Peacock. You're right. In X-Men Origins is the
Mhm.
actor.
So
I
that was a
guess.
different. Yeah, it was a different teenager in X-Men Origins Wolverine. You see him in high
Right,
school, like Sabretooth is like chasing him in the school.
right.
But
But
so like,
but
yeah. So
no,
he's
but who
supposed to be
is it?
the first one, right? Like him and Jean Grey,
Jean
like they
Grey.
said in the cartoon.
Who is the younger version of Scott Summers in Apocalypse?
Let me see. But by the way, there's like a huge. I don't know if y'all hear it in the background, but we have like a huge storm raging here. It
No,
says here he's not in Apocalypse, I
Yeah, he
don't think.
is.
Oh, he is?
he
Yeah,
is.
he is.
He's in Apocalypse.
Evan Peters
Ty
plays Max.
Sheridan.
Ty Sheridan, thank you. Yeah.
Oh, that's who you said earlier. Sorry.
Yeah.
I did not
Actually,
listen to you.
actually, I would have listen. All X-Men fans might, revolt and shoot me in the face or do something violent to me now. But I would have loved to seen what what Sophie Turner and Ty Sheridan would have done with the characters if they would have been allowed to grow into them. But unfortunately, that's not what we got.
I used to watch Joel's here, and he says I used to watch X-Men reruns at 6 a.m. before work in the late
Hey
90s.
Joel,
Ty
thanks for
Sheridan is
always
Ready
loving
Player
my stuff.
One, so he's always got like a mask on his face.
Poor kid. No, but also the other reason why I love the animated series, whether it's the original or X-Men '97, the movies, I feel the movies. Now let me get this straight. I love the movies, but the movies really focus on Wolverine and making him the centerpiece. And in
Yeah.
the animated TV show and in the comics as well, Wolverine fits into the team like everybody else. He's not the centerpiece, and the leader of the X-Men, for all intents and purposes, is Cyclops. And since I'm such a big Cyclops fan because of the animated series, this just gave me joy. I mean, I can't remember if it's in the first episode or the second one, but Cyclops does a baller move in one of these first two episodes, and I lost my mind. Like, so cool.
It was fun to see them. It was really fun to see them like use their powers like in ways that you can't do in live action, and
Yeah,
like
man.
just like kind of the old movie. They did a good job at like being faithful to kind of like the style of animation that the original was. I feel like I haven't seen the original series in like in a while, but it just felt right, like as far as I could tell.
Mhm.
I watched it. I rewatched it on Netflix like 10 years ago or so. Was the
Oh yeah,
So
Is it on Netflix? Everything's on Netflix.
No, not
or...
anymore. It's on Disney Plus, but it
It's on
was.
Disney
Oh,
Plus.
they
on,
moved the original series to there, so you could watch old episodes. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's always
Yeah,
been
you
on
watch the
Disney
whole
Plus.
thing. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize
It's been on
that.
there from like day one, I think. But
lame Starfleet. So hail here.
Well, all right.
but it was on
Yeah.
Netflix at one point in time, and I rewatched it then.
I'm jealous of you, Starfleet. Well, you want to know why?
Why?
Because you lived through my favorite decade. You actually lived in the 90s.
I did live through the. Do you guys have questions about the 90s? Well, Father, you were around in the 90s, right?
Yeah, that whole
Yeah,
decade, beginning to end.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's,
was. Yeah,
Marcel,
yeah,
if you have
I
any
was-
questions about the 90s, we're experts. We were.
Yeah, I was. Listen. I am obsessed with the 90s
Oh.
and the early 2000s. I was there, but I wasn't really present because I was too young.
Well, basically,
Mm.
what happened was Kurt Cobain shot himself.
Yeah, that's
Deep
true. That did
Space
happen.
Nine. Bill Clinton got a blowjob. Tickle Me Elmo.
Yep.
Then Princess Diana. Then the UK gave up Hong Kong.
Oh wow, all
and-
that happened in the 90s.
Wow. Oh my
and
God.
and then people got scared of Y2K, but then it didn't happen, and that was
Star
it.
Trek Generations.
That's the
came
entire
out.
decade.
That's right. That's true.
Thanks,
Star
Father.
Trek
That's a
Generations.
summary,
We can't
best
ignore.
summary ever.
How many Star Trek movies came out in the 90s? Only Star Trek 6 and
4?
Star Trek Generation. Oh, 4 was not the 90s. 89,
Wait,
right? Or
okay,
88.
I just guessed, but let me think. Okay, so Star Trek
5 and
6.
6.
Star Trek 6 was 91. Then Generations was 94. Then
Four.
First
Four.
Contact was 96. Then Insurrection was 98. So my
Oh, wow.
answer I just pulled out of my ass of 4 was correct.
It was correct.
Yeah,
Wow,
that's
dang.
great, man.
96 and 97 was an interesting year because it's the year that I was already in the world. I had graduated high school, so I was no longer a student. It was my
Oh my
first year in
God.
the world. I guess you would for a lot of people who graduated that year in 96, that would be their first year of college is 97. What were you
Cool.
doing in 97, Father? Just out of curiosity.
I was going to school, and my friend Pablo was telling me, hey, on the Comedy Central channel, there's this cartoon called South Park, and it's about like these kids who live in this town where it's like snowy every day, and they wear like jackets and hats every day because it's always snowy, and one of the kids is named Kenny, and he dies in every episode. And I was like, oh, that sounds like a weird cartoon. It'll never catch on. No one's ever going to watch that.
What
No
year
one's
was
ever
baby
gonna-
Marcelo born?
No, I was born in 88.
Oh, but you were
So
you were like you were like just turning 9.
yeah.
Oh, so you
So-
were around in the 90s. You were just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
really little.
Yeah. I was really young. So I might have been probably obsessing over like a couple Disney films, watching a bunch of Power Rangers, and
Oh yeah, Power Rangers was huge.
probably obsessing over Batman, and I probably was watching the Star Trek original films because at that
Oh
point
yeah.
I was obsessed with the original like 1 through 6. So
And
yeah.
the someone mentioned the BTAS cartoon, the Batman the Animated Series cartoon in the 90s. That was still coming out in 97, but also there was a Superman cartoon on WB,
Yep.
and
That's right.
the Batman and Robin movie came out. You know,
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze and all that. Like, I know it's like an infamous movie, but I mean, it was a big deal, like a big budget blockbuster movie.
Yeah, and then in what was it, 98, we have Batman Beyond come out. Was it 98?
I think 99,
99. Okay, I was 1 year off.
but
But
it might be 98. But
Yeah, I was yeah,
not
but
sure.
I actually remember reading the newspaper. This is how old I am. When we had these plastic thing called newspapers, people. I remember I remember looking at the newspaper and seeing an ad for the first episode of Batman Beyond, and I was so fucking excited that I ran over to my grandfather and I said, listen, wherever we're going tomorrow, cancel your plans. There's a new Batman series coming out. I have to watch it. So I went to bed that night thinking that I was going to wake up in time for it. I woke up and I missed the thing, and it took me like 6 weeks to like catch up because I had to go like to a friend's house who actually woke up in time and he recorded it on these things called VHS tapes, guys. So
I found a, I found a bunch of VHS tapes. We've been looking through them like home videos, and there's
cool.
like a ton of old shows that I guess we were recording because we couldn't watch them live. And
That's
so there's
fun.
like tons of old shows that are on there. It's crazy. Like it's
Are
weird to
you digitizing?
yeah, I'm getting them all, but we were just watching to see what's on them because we don't want to digitize tapes that have like old TV shows. But maybe I should. Maybe that should be a thing we do. Hey, Uncle Art, you're in the chat. Uncle Art, what were you doing in in 1997? We're sharing memories as we talk about X-Men '97.
I'm sorry. The other thing that I was probably doing is obsessing over Mission Impossible, the original series, and the new movie because I probably probably the year before that is when my grandfather took me to see the original Tom Cruise film in the theater. So
I was watching
wow.
Star Trek on Paramount Plus earlier today, and it
of
opened
course you
with
were.
a advertisement for the Mission Impossible movies, and it said something like the greatest action movie series of all time or something like that. It was
No,
like the catchphrase. It did say
yeah,
that though, but I was thinking like yeah, Marcelo really likes these movies. I wonder if he's
I
seen
do.
this. I wonder if he's seen this trailer.
Yeah, I have. It's a really really good trailer, but I listen. As much as I love the series, I don't agree with that statement saying that the films are the greatest action movies of all time. Um, yeah, but what the hell? I was gonna say something. I completely forgot what I was gonna
We were
say.
asking what you were doing in '97. You were telling us about your grandfather and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And Mission
I was.
Impossible.
Mission
Yeah.
Impossible, yeah.
Yes. So back then, my family had like one main computer in the basically in the basement, and I would go on the internet thinking that I was going to find tapes of Mission Impossible episodes because back then we were a little bit too poor to afford VHS copies, and I can distinctly remember going on the internet thinking that wouldn't it be cool if I could go to a place on the internet and buy like VHSs or like like a web page, and I'm like, oh, years later, Amazon, you can buy anything you want from here.
Wait, what do you mean? Like, oh yeah, I guess Amazon was still selling VHSs back then. That's true. Amazon came
Yeah,
out in like 2000 something. I thought maybe it's as old as 90 something.
yeah.
Huh? What's the
Um,
deal with Professor X? I didn't remember him dying.
He doesn't die, but he goes off. He's actually off Earth. He goes off with
Ah,
what's her name? The bird lady, the Shi'ar Empire,
yeah,
Ileandra, Empress,
it,
whatever.
yeah. No, yeah, it's
But
in
he's off.
Leandra. You're right.
Yeah, he had to go off with her to survive. Like only she could repair him.
oh,
Yeah.
interesting. So does he come back in episode 2? Because I haven't seen episode 2.
No, I don't think he's
Oh,
coming
okay.
back. I
Oh,
think
okay.
I think they're stuck with Magneto.
Mm.
Interesting. Yeah, I love that little
And
surprise at the end.
yeah, I'm also really intrigued by the hint at the relationship between Rogue and Magneto.
I
I'm like,
love that because
ooh,
that's something that happened in the comics, and I think it's cool for them to touch on that in the cartoon. I thought they were
yeah,
hinting at that when she first called him Eric,
hmm
when she's like maybe we should give him a second chance or whatever she said. I was
right.
like, oh, that's unusual for someone to call him Eric other than the professor. But then when they had like the indication later when she's like that was a long time ago.
hmm Yeah,
Did
but this
did
show's
Magneto? When
really
was the last
wonderful.
time we saw him in the original show? Was he
He
in
was
the
he
last
was
few
in the
episodes?
last episode. He's in the very final episode when Xavier goes into space.
And how long is this after that? Did you say like a
Um,
year? Or not
no,
even a
One
it's
year.
year?
like
Months, you
I
said, right?
I think it's a few months if it's still in 1997 because that's like when
So
it.
did he have his hair like? Because I don't remember him having his hair long or anything like
No,
this.
he didn't. He looks like that in the comics sometimes, but that's not what he looked like in the cartoon before. But yeah, he hasn't cut his hair since that last episode, I guess.
Oh wow, they already have X-Men 97 action figures.
I thought the writing
Oh,
was incredibly strong in the second
yeah, it was.
episode. It's a shame
Oh,
that,
really?
that dude got fired because I was like, wow, that was some really impressive scripting.
Yeah.
But there's it's hard to describe without just flat out like
Spoiling the whole
reiterating
thing.
it. But yeah,
Well, we got
Yeah.
the spoiler tag up, so I mean, I saw clips from it. Should I go watch it and then you
the
guys can post
the
the show?
trial of Magneto, just like
It was really
when
cool.
the speech that he gives, and like I was saying, it's like really strong scripting, but the way that he frames it of taking them to the upper atmosphere and letting them know how easily he could snuff them out, but he's trying to be a better person. And then he asks them, please don't make me let you down. He's holding them there. Also to show them the entire world and how vast it is and how it needs to be shared among all the people of all different kinds.
Hmm.
It was
sounds
really,
cool.
really well written, and I don't know
Yeah,
what happened to that showrunner, but
that was really weird because he got let go days before his show premiered, and the tragic thing is that he's the showrunner for the first 2 seasons, and he actually had started working on season 3 with Disney. So whatever happened to him, I mean, there's a rumor that he got let go because he had a spicy page on one of those websites. But
Oh.
but to me, that isn't grounds for expulsion.
Yeah, now that everyone's got like a spicy page now, apparently.
what does
I
that
don't
mean? What does that mean, spicy page?
like
Oh, he's got a
like having
he's
like
got
an
a
OnlyFans or something.
yeah
Like he was selling nude pictures of himself, and that's why they
Maybe.
fired
Well,
him.
I think that's what
no
Marcel is implying.
well the rumor implied that maybe he had a OnlyFans page and maybe he was doing explicit activity on that page. But again, it's just a rumor.
That's
Because
what one does
when-
on an OnlyFans page mostly.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
there's a
yeah.
lot of explicit activities going on OnlyFans,
you know-
Marcella.
Yeah. And the other thing that's kind of sus is that after Disney let him go, he like disappeared. He deactivated his Twitter, Instagram, his email. His reps weren't responding for comment. Nobody could get in touch with him. So whatever happened very, very quick and very, very sudden. And nobody's talking. So when this does come out, it's going to be very interesting to hear what actually happened to him. But seeing these first 2 episodes makes me really sad that he's not going to be around for season 3.
I'm glad that he got 2 seasons already done if it's going to be this good the whole way through. I was thinking
Yeah.
how great My Adventures with Superman is, and I feel like X-Men 97 has the potential to be just as good. They're so different. Like My Adventures with Superman tries to be such like a new like reinvention and
Right.
and so different, whereas X-Men 97 like obviously like leans hard into nostalgia. It's like baked into the
Nostalgia.
very premise.
Right.
But both like very different approaches, but they're in very different animation styles and everything, but they're both just like so good.
Yeah. My Adventures with Superman, if I'm thinking of the right animated show, is heavily inspired by anime, right? Correct?
Yeah, it has a
Yeah,
very
and-
anime look.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if Magneto had an OnlyFans account. Like, just saying, I really like the.
Good God.
like the
It's a
look he's
cartoon, man. Calm yourself.
done. Do any cartoons have an OnlyFans? I wonder. They should do.
Oh my
X-Men
God.
97.
I have
They
no
should do
doubt.
Oh my God.
They should do X-Men 97 OnlyFans.
Well,
oh my
maybe
gosh, that's what the title
that's
should
what he
have been
did.
for this.
No, that's something I believe Disney would fire a dude for. You know, they're pretty protective of their intellectual property.
Property.
This episode of Starfleet's Sohail and Friends After Dark show should have been called X-Men 97 After Dark. I mean, OnlyFans. I don't think
Disney is actually about to send the Florida State Police to Sohail's house
Oh my God.
to arrest him for using a picture of one of their characters right now.
Look, our audience enjoys the way, I think. Yeah, we need Scott Summers OnlyFans. We need Rogue OnlyFans. Wouldn't a Rogue OnlyFans? She couldn't do. Well, who's the one you can't touch? It's Rogue, right?
Rogue, yeah, Rogue.
That would be an interesting. That would be a solo.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, unless Magneto's around, he's immune to her.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
To her.
That's what.
You know what I?
He's there to
You know
cuck Gambit.
Oh my God.
Well, Gambit can watch.
Yes.
There's no reason why he can't.
I cannot touch you, Monchetti, but Magneto can.
Oh my
And they
God.
can use Cerebro to put Gambit's mind
I mean,
into Magneto.
I saw
Oh my
someone
God.
argue for Gambit being a bisexual icon.
But
Just
he
based
is,
on
with
based
his
on the
colors.
crop top. Yeah, his powers are he makes things flaming pink and then they explode.
I
And
saw that video.
he has a girlfriend and he can't touch her though. It's like
That's that screaming guy on TikTok. I saw that. He's funny.
So
Let me pull out Gambit here. But he is wearing bisexual, what we consider today to be the
Yeah.
bisexual lighting. I like that they always just call it bisexual lighting.
bisexual.
did TOS have that? Is that what all the
TOS definitely has bisexual lighting.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I actually love that style on TOS and Strange New Worlds. I didn't know that was considered a bisexual.
What I saw that was
thing.
really funny is that the guy was like, people are getting bent out of shape about Gambit wearing a crop top, but did they
Yeah.
ever? But who wears like a bright pink like armor and like yeah, all the
I mean,
stuff. he pointed
the
out.
X-Men are supposed to be like super diverse. They're supposed to have like a bunch of diversity. Like it.
Yeah, I like
they-
that they can actually go there now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it should have like characters that come off as queer. Like it should have a very diverse cast. That's kind of like how Star Trek does that.
He's not wearing a choker, is he? That's a necklace, right? That's not a choker.
It's like a choker and a necklace. It's like a double wound necklace, so it serves the purpose.
Yeah,
It's very
I don't know,
90s
I don't know
actually.
what's going on there.
Yeah. Yeah. because it's like a choker and it just feeds out into a necklace.
I remember crop tops seem to be coming back in style, but I remember everyone walking
That's
around with
actually
crop-
more 80s than 90s.
It is.
Yeah.
But I
Crop top.
still saw it in the 90s.
Yeah, not maybe like early 90s, not 97.
Here's everyone in their athleisure in their athleisure outfits.
Yeah.
Let me just make that a little bit bigger. There we go.
There you
Well,
go.
Logan just wears like
Those colors are very 90s.
yeah, totally. I love
That's very
I love that Rogue's just wearing her regular X-Men uniform, but with like a crop top thingy on top of it
Oh,
because
yeah,
she can't
'cause-
touch anyone.
'Cause
So
she's
it's like,
trying to cover
she's-
up her skin. It makes me so
Skin, yeah.
sad for her. I feel sorry for her.
I know she's kind of used to it, but it's like interesting because some people can relate to that who have like, allergic skin conditions or like things like that.
They
it's
came
kind
up to a solution for her and Gambit's impediment
romance.
in the comics.
What was it?
Those power dampening collars.
Oh,
Yeah.
she can wear one of those.
Oh yeah, that's right. She can.
That's
I mean,
kind of
some-
kinky.
Yeah, it is. Like some
No,
people,
but
some people would be into wearing something like that anyways. So
It's true. Yeah, that's an
Boatwreck
interesting way to.
says condoms, but you would need like a full body condom. Like
Mm.
you can't have any skin to skin contact.
No, but I was like, yeah, no. I'm like, yeah, no. But she can in a form euphanize herself to do the dirty with Gambit if
What?
she wants, and then take it off. Sorry, but that was the wrong wording. Not euphanize. She
Yeah, I was
can
gonna
put
say.
that thing. Yeah, that's the wrong wording.
She could like
It's late.
it's like
Give me a
she
break.
could impede her powers, like what Father was
Yeah, that's
saying
right.
earlier.
Impede her powers.
Or
Impede her
suppress.
power.
I think suppress is
Yeah,
suppress-
suppression's
suppress
a good word. Yeah, it's mutant power suppression technology.
Mutant Sours. Present
Copyright Disney, 1997.
Also, the thing that the thing that I like about X-Men 97 is that not Jean Grey or fake Jean Grey mentions in
Madeline
one of the
Pryor,
episodes.
I guess the clone,
Thank-
right?
thank you, Father.
They're gonna do the Hellfire clone or Hellfire Club.
Yeah,
stuff.
the Hellfire Club stuff. I love that they mentioned that that Scott and Jean are past the Dark Phoenix thing.
Yeah, I'm
'Cause-
kind of confused about some of that stuff because it's supposed to be in continuity with the '90s cartoon, but there's some
Mhm.
stuff that seemed like it was more in line with the comics than with the cartoon. Like the costume
I
she
think it-
held up when she was like, last time I wore this was on the blue area of the moon. It's like I don't think that's what she was wearing in the '90s cartoon, but
I think I think the
I'll be right
I
back,
think
guys.
I think the showrunner sort of picked and choose
Yeah.
the things that he wanted.
yeah.
But I think that he tried to stay as faithful as he could to the original 90s cartoon as long as it fit within the story that he was going to tell.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, they do blend together pretty seamlessly. The animation does look like a lot more modern and I don't know, it looks more like kind of like artificial in my opinion, more like, made on a computer, more like I don't know, it just comes off as like a little more cold to me than the old stuff. But after
And look-
watching an episode, I didn't mind. My brain got used to it.
Mhm. Actually, to me, it looks a lot cleaner than the original drawings because the original series it looked grimier, if I can use that word.
It did.
Yeah. But as a fan of Jean and Scott, like the Dark Phoenix saga always wigs me the hell out. So I am so happy that they have sort of gone past that, and I can just see Scott and Jean be a supportive couple. And, but if the Dark Phoenix thing pops up again and we have to deal with it in later seasons, I'll be fine with that. But I really hated in the movie versions of the X-Men that every time Jean Grey was on the scene, the principal thing about her would always come back to, oh, the Dark Phoenix thing. Like she's one of the most powerful mutants on the planet, and when she goes bad, there's no way to bring her back. I've always hated that, and the reason why I've always hated that there's no way to bring her back is because she's also one of my favorite superheroes of all time. So that just annoys me as a fan.
But is that true that once she becomes a Dark Phoenix, she doesn't go back to being Jean Grey, or does she? I feel like she does,
she
right?
does.
She does, but there's
there's a problem.
Oh,
I'm
I'm sorry, I can't remember what happened.
No, her. I mean, from what I can understand, what I understand, the dark when she goes into the Dark Phoenix persona, her
Mm-hmm.
mind like sort of splits into two,
Oh, okay.
and sort of her Dark Phoenix, the Dark Phoenix side of her mind takes over, and when that takes over, everything goes to shit. Am I right, Father, or am I nowhere close?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically like another personality. It's like another entity. Like she's possessed. You can almost think of it as like
Right,
a
right, right.
demonic possess. It's like an ancient space demon basically
Right, right.
possesses
Ancient
her,
space demon.
and
Right, right,
it
right,
makes her into a all powerful fucking goddess, who's
right.
just vengeance and wrath and
Yeah.
fury, and
Yep.
Jean Grey disappears. So
Yep.
like
That's right.
there's a moment in the comics and in the cartoon, and I guess kind of in the live action movies when she's
Mhm.
possessed, and she get and
I
like
remember
Jean
that.
Grey like regains control, and she's
Mhm.
like, "You're gonna have to kill me before
So
before I turn back into the Dark Phoenix,
yeah.
because then I'll be unstoppable."
Mm-hmm.
And the interesting thing, I don't remember exactly how it plays out in the '90s cartoon, but I know like in the comics, the interesting thing was that when she says that, like, if I remember it correctly, I might not be remembering correctly, but Wolverine doesn't like he can't bring himself to do it, but Cyclops can, and
Yeah.
Cyclops
Cyclops can.
is the one, and it's like he loves her so much, but he's such like a strong, like dutiful guy that he would be able to do. It's almost like Cyclops is stronger than Wolverine is kind of a way to
Because he can
to
let
read
go
that.
of because he can let go of his beloved Jean Grey. That you mean
Right.
for the greater
Yeah.
good or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. And in
Interesting.
that,
I like that.
and in that abortion of a movie, the X-Men: The Last Stand, um, ugh, Wolverine is the one that kills Jean after she says,
Mm.
"Please
Well, it's like
kill
you
me,"
were
and
saying,
he just
they make Wolverine the star of everything in those
yeah,
movies. They all
yeah,
everything orbits around Hugh Jackman, and Cyclops
yeah. I
is
hate
pushed to the
yeah.
sidelines.
Right. Yeah.
Who's this guy? This new character? Is he in the comics or anything, or is
Yeah,
he
that's canon.
completely
Or
new?
no, that's not canon. That's Sunspot.
Sunspot.
Sounds
Oh,
fun.
He's
okay.
Yeah.
a new mutant.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So we'll get to see him
He
like
was in that
fully.
But
movie. That
yeah.
that
No,
movie no one liked. I put it on the TV one time. I didn't really pay attention when it was streaming on Max. But the new mutants.
oh,
Oh, I
okay.
haven't seen that. I don't think.
I still haven't seen that.
Well, he's in that.
There's my girl Jubilee in the back.
Oh, this is an interesting thing. Every time there's a new version of X-Men, they always do the first story as a new kid being introduced to the school. The very first X-Men comic by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby in 1962 or 63 was it was actually Jean Grey coming to the school and meeting Xavier. And
That's really cool.
the first episode of the '90s cartoon was Jubilee. The first
Jubilee.
Bryan Singer movie was Rogue.
Rogue.
They always do this though. They start off with the what is it, X-Men Evolution? I think it was Nightcrawler.
Mhm.
Was
That
the new
cartoon.
one? Yeah, that's true.
So,
Yeah.
but it's a perfect way of introducing the audience to the characters and setting. I actually brought this up on Text Trek when we covered Lower Decks season 1 episode 1, the very premiere of Star Trek Lower Decks. I said like Tendi is like the new X-Men in the first issue of a new X-Men series. And it's about her arrival on the Cerritos, and then you get like the tour of the ship and you meet all the characters.
Oh, rad. That's great. What a
That's
nice
a
tie into Star Trek.
that's a great point, Father. That's a great
Joel
point.
says, "Old trick, let the audience learn with the new character." Yeah, that's true. Good point. Joel has a
Also,
question for us. Should the next Wolverine actor be accurately short?
I think so. The Wolverine of the comics is a short little 5'3".
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, get
How
a short little ugly dude. Get like a short, stout, buff,
ugly
ugly dude.
subjectives. Like
But I mean,
just
like
like,
that's
like
in the
ruddy, like
comics.
like
He's not like a big, tall, handsome Hugh Jackman. I don't know. He's just like this gruff little
Gruff
gremlin
and
little
tough.
man.
who is
What do you
is
got?
there another
What,
is there an X-Men movie in development right now or anything like that?
no.
Like are they
There's
gonna
one coming out this year called Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. But that's Hugh Jackman again. Who would you cast as a screen
Well, is it
accurate
going to be just
Wolverine?
Hugh Jackman, or are there going to be variant
Oh,
Wolverines? We could have
oh,
multiple
interesting.
actors
That's a
playing
good point.
multiple Wolverines.
That's a good point.
I don't know who I would cast as the new Wolverine, because for all of my
You have Daniel
existence,
Radcliffe. He's short. He's 5'5".
uh,
What do you guys think of Daniel
I
Radcliffe?
don't know.
playing
I don't
Wolverine?
know if he's butch enough.
He could. I'm sure actors, they're always getting buff or skinny
Like
for
I think he
roles.
could be buff, but I don't know if he would be. I don't know. Like I kind of want like a Wolverine with like a deep voice, just kind of a.
Right. Yeah, because he hasn't really done that. Daniel Radcliffe's very hairy too. He could totally play like
I also
Logan.
I don't know if I've ever seen a movie that he's in.
Here,
I'm
let me
not
show
really that
you.
familiar with his work. What has he ever been in that's not Harry Potter?
Like
no,
a
he
lot
was
of
in.
a lot of quirky
No, he no, he was
indie movies, I
he
would
was
say.
he was in this great movie where he was a criminal, and I believe that he got kidnapped, and when he woke up, he surgically had guns attached to his hands. It's called
Here's
Guns
Oh
Akimbo.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
I
I haven't
remember
seen
that.
that, but
He's done
I'll
like
watch
weird
it. That
movies. He
sounds
played this dead
interesting.
guy that was farting, that was
Yeah, I
being
know, like
like
that Swiss Army Man movie. I never
Yeah.
saw
Yeah,
that.
so sorry, man.
Like, I don't think I've ever seen anything of him.
And
he
he
did a
was
period horror movie, I feel like.
he did, yeah, that was a Woman in Black.
Woman in
He also
Black, that's
did
right.
the sequel to Now You See Me.
Okay. Let me pull up
And
his filmography.
he also did the Weird Al Yankovic movie.
Haven't seen.
Oh, I haven't seen
I
that yet.
wanna
I'm dying
see
to
it.
see that. Yeah. Look, guys, Wolverine. I don't know what Daniel Radcliffe's doing here, but you could put claws on his hands and
No,
change that.
he just looks too boyish in the face. I don't know.
Okay, so not Daniel Radcliffe. Who else is 5'5"? Let's see. Who's another short actor out there? Let's see. If I can find someone.
I have no idea. That's why I can't be a casting director, because I'm not good choosing people for roles.
You could do it. We have Elijah Wood. He's too much like kind
Old.
of not. Is he old? He still looks very young.
How
But yeah,
old
I
is
don't think Elijah
Wood?
Wood could do. I don't know if Elijah Wood could do it. What about? Let's see here. Is Seth Green? No, he's all these short guys don't like kind of exude the. Sorry, short guy actors, but what about Dave Franco? He's short.
Oh.
Let me see what he looks like with a beard. Hold on. Dave Franco. But he doesn't have the body hair. I don't know if he could pull it off. No, I don't think Dave Franco could pull it off. Sorry, Dave Franco. You still look like a babe, like a baby. Kind of like like a young person. Mark Wahlberg, but we don't want him in anything.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, I
What
can't think
about
of who would be a good short actor.
I have no idea. I don't know.
Oh, Joel's got in the chat. What about Danzig playing Wolverine?
Who?
Danzig, the singer? Or I
He's
guess he
too
doesn't.
old. Wouldn't he be too old?
Yeah, he probably would be. Let me see what he looks like today. 2024. Let's look at Danzig. It's Glenn Danzig, right? That's his full name.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Joel. Danzig's looking a little aged. He's looking a little.
Okay, so there's this movie called Horns. I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
He's
Horse was
he's
good. I
in the
like.
show BoJack Horseman. I haven't seen any of that.
I appreciate that Daniel Radcliffe is doing weird stuff. Oh look, I'm not the only one who thought of him. It looks like Screen Rant thought of Daniel Radcliffe as well. Interesting. Here, look at this. I hope Screen Rant doesn't mind me putting their image up here, but like they already kind of clocked this idea, so that's cool. Screen Rant.
Oh, that's cool.
I think Daniel Radcliffe might be able to pull it off. I don't know. You know, he's got to do something he's never done that I've never seen him do in his range. But
Yeah,
I think
I mean, I tend to, I understand that it's really important to a lot of fans to make the actor look as close to the real character in the book or in the comic book, but I would 100% go for a good actor that's a little bit taller than getting somebody who is, more accurate to the comic, but a really bad actor. But that's just me.
Going back to Sunspot for a second, I thought it was interesting that he's kind of like, they call him like a trust fund kid, and like he says he has his own jet and stuff like that.
No, he's not a trust fund kid. I think he's talking a big game.
No, he's a rich kid from Brazil.
Oh, he's a rich kid in the comics.
Yeah,
from Brazil.
Okay. So I was completely wrong on that.
So
I don't know too much about.
It's interesting. I guess they're gonna deal with topics of privilege, maybe, hopefully, through this character, and like, is he gonna be part of this? Like, are they gonna talk about labor and billionaires and how like all that? I wonder how deep this show's gonna go.
It shows an interesting level of intersectionality of like their marginalized community, and how you see how it like impacts a privileged person compare and contrast how it impacts like, well, I don't know if you saw in the second episode. I guess you haven't seen.
I haven't,
yet,
but you could give me spoilers. It's
like,
okay.
They bring back the Morlocks from the 90s cartoon who lived in the sewers in New York.
Yep, they do. No, but I
don't remember the Morlocks. Interesting.
Yeah, they're like a band of mutants that live underground.
That's just like the Morlocks were named after Time Machine. Weren't they called Morlocks?
H.G. Wells.
Oh, interesting. That's interesting. That's a nice reference. Our text message audience says in 1997, Danny DeVito doing with de-aged VFX playing Wolverine. I like the idea. I like the idea of Danny DeVito. Hey, Wolverine. Look at father, he's lost his shit. What would a Danny DeVito performance of Wolverine? I think he can pull off the tough guy part. He's got that.
I'm having nightmares. Don't do that.
I mean, why not?
Seriously, when I wake up tonight screaming, I'm gonna text you at like 3:00 in the morning and start yelling at you.
I mean, if you think about like Wolverine's powers, like all his powers are, I don't think there's any reason why Danny DeVito couldn't do it, really. Because just think about it, like, all he's got to do is just be like this like really like angry guy screaming, and he just like goes up to people and just like stabs them with his fists. And it doesn't matter, like they can just like shoot him, kick him, stab him, shoot him with like grenades, flamethrowers, whatever. But he has like a healing factor, so he's gonna be constantly like healing from all of it. So you could have like Danny DeVito with just these knives coming out of his fists, just like screaming like a madman, just getting like shot and stabbed and burnt and kicked and all kinds of shit happening to him, and just cutting dudes up. Like there's no reason why you couldn't do that, I think.
We are also not the first people to have thought of this.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Take back
no.
what I said. That's the stupidest fucking looking thing I've ever seen in my life. I apologize to all of y'all.
Oh my god.
I never
Jeez.
thought that's hilarious. I thought that was very original, but apparently others have clocked Danny DeVito to be Wolverine as well, and I'm okay with it. I think that's a good idea. Uh, I think if I think do you think now that we're full tilt into bringing back old stuff like that Twins Part 2 could be a thing?
Oh no! You know what?
Did you-
Everybody
Man.
loves everybody loves Twins, but I don't like that movie. I'm sorry.
I've never seen it.
Oh my god,
I've
can we
never
watch
watched it.
it together?
No,
Father, who
no.
wants
we
Is
will
it
I'll
even
not
watch it
watch
with
it.
Sohel if we watch Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey.
Let's do a watch long finally of it together. I agree. I have to watch it. It's over. This is a new year. I can't stretch this thing
How
out
was
for
it? But,
another year.
but seriously, you guys have had the same joke since I joined the crew.
It's not a joke. It's like a serious thing. I want to watch it.
I know, but it's like if you want to watch it, you
never
would have done it
watched it.
years ago.
It's a weird thing. It's like the universe blocked me from watching it. I'm gonna just blame the universe. Can you guys make it show for a second? And feel free to get
Sure.
started on the Beetlejuice trailer if you haven't seen it.
I was actually
Yeah.
about to transition to that. I was gonna say that talking about like everything going back to the old days and Twins 2 or whatever. But I saw this picture of it had Michael Keaton from Batman 89 next to Michael Keaton Batman from The Flash, and then under that it had a picture of Michael Keaton Beetlejuice from the 80s movie. Then it had a picture of Michael Keaton Beetlejuice from the trailer for the new one. And I was just like, wow, like he's like fully reverted to like my earliest memories of him. And
Wow.
just I was like talking about that like with Dave, and Dave was saying like, yeah, there's also like the new like Transformers comic that we're reading is so much like the old like 1984 cartoon. And then like after he said that, I'm looking on social media and I see like this picture of the TNG actors hanging out on the recreation of the Enterprise D bridge when they were shooting Star Trek Picard. I'm just like, yeah, like everything from the 80s has just been
It's coming
recreated.
back, yeah. Yeah. No, but I really thought that Beetlejuice 2 was going to be that one movie that I was going to hear about for my entire life, but I was never going to get to see. And I'm so happy that Tim Burton and the aforementioned Michael Keaton were finally able to get a script that they liked and move forward with it, because I love Beetlejuice. Like me, Father, and Sohail said before we hopped on here, I grew up with it. So seeing something I grew up with have a sequel means so much to me. Like I remember experiencing Beetlejuice for the first couple times on cable. There used to be this channel called TBS. It was a local channel that belonged to Ted Turner.
Speaking of cartoons, there was a whole Beetlejuice cartoon series as well. Saturday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And on this network on Friday night, they would have this cooking show called Dinner and a Movie, and they would always show Beetlejuice, and they would always come up with a dish for to be a companion piece with the movie. So for some reason, I often think about the show. I often think about that show and Beetlejuice at the same time. But I'm so excited. I really, really am. Father, do you think that we're going to get like a mention or maybe a potential surprise cameo from either Gina Davis or Alec Baldwin? Although Alec Baldwin is not
I think he's
in the best of
busy.
places right now.
I think he's busy.
He's busy with his other stuff.
Probably not, but I was surprised at the familiar faces I saw in the trailer that we got. So who knows? I didn't realize how nostalgic I would get just like seeing like that house again, or just like
So good.
that movie is so ingrained in my mind. That was just something like I watched constantly In my
Oh, that's
in
a
my
great
earliest
shot.
years.
I love that shot. And it and like when Jenna Ortega, on her bike, she crossed the bridge, and I'm like, oh, the bridge. I lost my mind. It was so great.
But I
That's such a
don't know. I just feel like, do we really need this? Do we really need Beetlejuice 2? And like, I don't know. It just almost kind of feels like, yeah, just like do that movie and do it with like the Wednesday Addams girl, and I don't know. It's just like, are we just retreading the past? Is it just more of just like a regurgitation of the same old stuff? Like we're kind of doing with
well,
Ghostbusters.
my hope is that it took Tim Burton and Michael Keaton so long to find something that they like. So I really hope that what they finally settled on is really, really good, because I'm of the belief is if they had any doubt in their mind, they would have never done it. Now, the success of the aforementioned Wednesday, I think, had a lot to do with it, because the guys who actually wrote the screenplay that Tim and Michael Keaton agreed on are the showrunners of Wednesday, and they're also the showrunners of Smallville. Alfred Goff and Miles Miller, which they're writing team. So
Oh yeah, that makes me a little nervous.
Really? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Why
you know
you didn't like Wednesday? I didn't watch Wednesday, but I heard it was pretty good.
You know what?
Well, no, like their work on Smallville is what makes me nervous.
Yeah, I mean, look, I feel kind of biased towards Smallville, because for me there are two different.
I thought y'all liked Smallville, Father.
No,
I watched
no.
it. But I don't think the writing was great.
No, I mean, I adore Smallville, but for me personally, there's two eras of Smallville. There's an era after Miles and Alfred left. There's an era with Alfred and Miles, which is seasons 1 through 7, and then the rest. But I will agree with you, Fathery. They're pretty shaky as writers. Not everything that they do is great. So yeah, but I don't know. I would rather be optimistic about this. I mean, it could be awful. It could be awful. And if it is, we still have the original.
This is the longest sequel thing that I can remember, like even longer than Back to the Future, I feel like. How many years ago was Beetlejuice? It was like a long time ago.
Yeah.
87?
87?
87. So yeah,
or
wow.
86? I honestly...
Hold on.
We'll have to look it up. 88.
88? I was gonna say
right before Batman. I knew they were close, but I didn't know they were like that close. They were like
right before
they shot
Batman.
those back to back.
Yeah.
You and PJ talked about this the other night, right? You guys did a stream on the trailer.
Yes, we did. Yeah,
that's right. So shout out. Go check that out, folks, later on.
Boat Trek. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Tim Burton is using stop motion and practical effects in this. That actually delights me.
I fucking love that. Jesus Christ, I love the fucking shit out of that.
That's gonna be a lot of fun.
I'm so glad that makes you happy, because that's one of the best parts of the original movie too. Actually, is all that stuff, like the worms and everything. Like all his designs.
I want to see them worms and stop motion on the big screen. Jesus Christ! I don't want to get hyped for this movie. I really don't. I really don't. Like in this
don't keep your expectations low, so you have a good reaction to it when it comes out.
Like you just mentioned Back to the Future, and like I'm glad Back to the Future has never been revamped, but I'm dreading. I know it's gonna happen eventually. I know they're gonna do it.
I think it won't happen until Robert Zemeckis. Robert Zemeckis
and Bob Gale die. It's not gonna.
But they're gonna die.
Because I think Yeah, but I think
they're gonna die, but they're not gonna die anytime soon. I hope.
I hope, yeah. May they live long lives as William
And
Shatner. By the way,
yeah,
happy
yeah,
birthday to William Shatner. Well, it was yesterday. It's now
yeah. And
12:37 here, but I guess in Texas it's still William Shatner's birthday.
It is for another 23 minutes,
22
22 minutes now, 22 minutes. It is William
guess what,
Shatner's
guys?
93rd birthday. By the way, he is the oldest life form we have ever documented going into space.
That's a good way to put it.
But I've never heard anyone else frame
What?
it that way other than myself.
That's a really good way to put it. He's the oldest life form to go
But
into
he
space.
is like no other. Well, like what other animal or person would be that old that is we've sent into space?
I know you were at South by Southwest for Discovery Fathery, which, by the way, we haven't really. If you all go and check out Text Rec Fathery downloads, everyone with Rachel and Dave on that experience. But I heard also that he was there promoting "Don't Call Me Bill." Did you get a glimpse of him at all in the hubbub?
No,
Or was
I
he
didn't
very
know that they were.
isolated?
They actually premiered that documentary at South by last year. I didn't know that
I
they
didn't
were like
realize
doing
that.
something here again. But they're touring with it now, and he's doing like a Q&A thing. So maybe they stopped here with that. But I did not know about that, but I've heard about people who are attending those screenings that he's doing. And the documentary sounds very interesting. If people listen to the Trek Movie All Access podcast at trekmovie.com, they did a very good
Great job.
kind of recap review of the documentary on the episode they released today.
Oh,
It really
nice.
makes me want to check it out. So I think I'll see it eventually. If it's ever streaming somewhere convenient to watch, I'll toss it on for
That's a
sure.
wonderful shot. I'm gonna go after the stream. I'm gonna go take that and stick it on my computer as my. I love that shot.
We don't want to know what you're gonna do with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you
Marcelo.
putting in
don't
the
have- you
spank
don't-
bank or
it's-
something
it's-
like
By the
that?
way, no,
Like,
no, by the
by
way,
all
they-
means, do what you want, but you don't
By
have to
the
tell
way,
us.
By the way, Winona Ryder is one of the first actors that I ever had a crush on. So I'm like,
Lots
oh
of
my
people,
god!
I feel
Yeah.
like that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, but also Winona Ryder is such a great actress as well. She's done some amazing work.
Every American boy has a crush on her when you're like 14.
Yeah, man.
Well, not every
Yeah.
boy, but
I
not
know, I
everyone.
mean,
many
you know-
do.
I admit
Yeah,
to
I
having
mean-
I admit to having had a crush on Winona Ryder. She's such a babe. She's beautiful, and like she kind of looks just like herself. It's like I see the same character as
Yeah, it's like
as
that's
before.
what you looked like when I was 2. Like, how do you how
How
do
do
you
you
not
keep
like
looking like-
How do you
change?
say that way? What do you do? What do you?
She called
sacrifice live
Beetlejuice. That's what
chickens
it's
and all?
about. That's what it's about. She called Beetlejuice to make her stay young forever. By the way, just for
Mhm.
context, this is a little collage. I don't know who put this together,
Like,
but
Lydia Dietz also has a really good plastic surgeon, I guess. Like in universe, it's
You know she
Beetlejuice
does.
canon.
that's
And she
right.
looks older there. She looks older as a teenager. Or is that when she was like being like, or no, that
Broody.
that doesn't happen to her. I was thinking about someone being aged up, but that's not her. Yeah, that's just unfortunate lighting, I guess. But Michael Keaton looks so good as the new Beetlejuice. He looks so like just like that.
Mhm.
I was surprised. I was surprised how impressed I was.
Well, that's the thing about makeup, right? Because they
Holy
could do a lot
fuck.
to. Yeah, they could do a lot to.
Yeah,
Man,
Beetlejuice
I
right
loved
there.
this guy so much as a kid. I had the toys. I still have like the doll that I've had since the 80s.
Did y'all watch the cartoon too?
Yes, I loved the cartoon.
I did.
Where he was more of a fun character. He was more of like a lovable, almost kind of like a Deadpool type, prankster type guy. And him and Lydia would just go have these fun, wacky cartoon adventures.
Mhm.
It's like I'm having a moment where I'm getting flashbacks to the cartoons, but I loved the animation style in the cartoon. I remember it was really kind of edgy for the time, and like it's just different. I
I'm
feel like
also
from-
having I'm sorry.
What are you having?
I'm
Father?
also having nostalgia for like the internet and like the earliest days of me surfing the web in like 1998, 1999, 2000, like on like these movie websites I would go to, like
Hmm.
what is it, cinemascape.com, like the magazine
I remember
website.
that.
And like I was like reading articles about the like potential Beetlejuice 2 news, or like Tim Burton updates people on latest Beetlejuice 2 uh developments, and just like shit like this is something like Marcelo was saying, this has been like talked about for so fucking
Forever,
long.
yeah.
Because
Forever.
there's been so many. Like I remember like Alien versus Predator and Freddy versus Jason both felt like that. And then like they
Mm.
both happened, and those both seem like so fucking long ago when those happened.
Hmm.
And I
I
used
What
to
do you
remember.
think
think it?
like they would never do a live action Transformers movie. Like that was like, man, there's
Oh
no way
yeah,
they would
that's
take like
right.
these toy robot car changing weird ass things from space. There's no way they would take that and try to do it in live action. And then they did. And that was like so long ago when they started doing that. I was like, yeah, eventually they're gonna do everything.
Yeah, but
What
I
was?
did.
Go ahead.
Actually, I'm sorry. I have a like I totally remember when I saw the first trailer for the original Transformers movie with Michael Bay. Um, and that movie is very special to me because that movie introduced me to my favorite writing team of all time. You may know them in the Star Trek realms as Mr. Alex Kurtzman and Bob Orsi. So,
Mm-hmm.
because of Transformers, this is the reason why I fell in love with them as storytellers.
What do you
Um,
think it is about Beetlejuice? Because it's such a weird thing that captivated the imagination of so many people that it had like such a
I
it
think
had like a run as a cartoon, and that people to this day like I know I know it's like, oh yeah, is it going to be good or is it going to be like bad or whatever? We have that kind of like worry, but the fact that like it's kind of become it has standing power. Beetlejuice is still around, and I think it's going to be something that could. What is it about Beetlejuice that you guys think like just kind of captures the imagination?
I think it has a lot to do with the guy who plays him, his sense of humor,
Michael
his
Keaton. So like it hinges on
Yeah.
Michael Keaton basically,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
A big
yeah.
I mean, he's one of the most watchable actors of all
Actors,
time. He
yeah.
kind of has he
Mhm.
kind of has like that like Tom Hanks energy where like, oh, you just like
Yep.
watch this
Mm,
guy just like walk around a room or sit in a chair, like whatever. Like
that is true.
he's just like so
Mhm.
fucking watchable. Just something about him.
That's a
Uh
great point,
and
Father.
it's also it's something that I think it has a lot of appeal to kids. It's like scary but still kind of safe. It's like not too scary, but like
Like Casper the and by the way, they both take place in the Nether world.
Mhm.
It's not hell or whatever. It's called the
the
Nether world where the
netherworld is what they called it in the car. And as a kid, it always made me confused when I would hear about like the country like the Netherlands, and then I'd be like, is this like the netherworld in Beetlejuice? Uh, but but yeah, I mean, like as a kid, you're watching it and you're like, oh, this is like creepy and scary, and like this guy says like a lot of like bad words, and I feel like I might get in trouble for watching it. But it's not like so scary that I'm too scared to stop watching. So
Right, right.
and like the Danny Elfman music is great. Like Tim Burton
So
just
good.
when
Oh my
Burton was in
god.
his prime and just had like these just like totally like surreal, just like striking images. It just really connected with people.
Uh-huh.
My text message
Also,
audience is informing me that Tim Burton originally wanted Sammy Davis Jr. to play Beetlejuice. Did y'all know that?
Though that would have
no.
been such a wacky, like that would have been a totally different movie. But wouldn't it be neat? Wouldn't it be neat if we could go to that parallel universe and watch that movie? Do
I
like a
think so.
Starfleet Boy After Dark from that universe?
Oh my
Sammy
god.
Davis Jr. playing Beetlejuice. So sadly, he'd be dead now, so he couldn't
Yeah.
reprise the role. But yeah, that would be an
Wow.
interesting thing. I
When
could
That'll
did
be
he
see it
odd.
because
die?
what's that?
When did he die in real
Let
life?
me
Or
see.
like in
Let's
our
find out.
universe?
Mhm.
It
That'll be
says
really interesting.
1990. So he could have been in the original Beetlejuice, but he would have been very old.
Mm.
No, he wouldn't have been that old. He died at 64. He died young. So, oh, that's sad that he
Wow.
died young. All right.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah, he
wonder.
could have
I
pulled
wonder
it
if
off.
he didn't do it. Maybe his health was already on the decline.
Declining or something. Yeah. We
Wow,
also have
really important.
Robert Goulet, Dick Cavett, weird. That would be a good.
The
That'd be
juice is
funny.
loose.
The juice
The
is
I
juice
loose,
do
is
love like
baby.
loose.
that image too, him like rising from that table. Like I just like
Yeah.
love that moment where he's just like a dog just dying to be like let off his chain. And then when
Yeah.
like Lydia and like her desperation when she just has to do it, she has to do like the final fucking option and just the Beetlejuice.
Fuck
Then
it.
he's like, it's showtime. And then
Done.
he's like so fucking hyped to fucking like rise up from that table. Just I fucking love that. It's so fucking exciting. I remember like watching that as a little kid, just being like so fucking pumped watching that shit.
I do appreciate that Tim Burton is directing it. Like it would worry me a little bit if it was someone else
Oh
directing
no!
the movie.
If it was somebody else, I would
I
be
don't know.
extremely panicked.
Burton has not done much great stuff in recent years, as far as I know. What little I've seen of his work, and
Let's take a look at
Yeah.
his thing.
I know
He's had a rough
of
time
a
of it
few
lately.
examples of like like sequels done by new directors that were pretty well liked. Like I think a lot of people liked the new Blade Runner that was done by not Ridley Scott but Denis Villeneuve. I think a lot of
Denis-
people
Yeah, Denis.
liked the Tron Legacy and might be excited for the new Tron movie. There are different directors. What else? The Evil Dead. There were there were recent Evil Dead movies
Eddie
done by different
Alvarez, yeah.
directors.
Well, Tim
So-
Burton
No, but
after Dark Shadows, let's see, he did Alice in Wonderland, which I didn't like those movies. Hold on, let's see. Sweeney
Oof.
Todd, I loved. I
Great,
didn't see The
love that
Killer
movie.
Bones. Let me see. Am I pulling this up right? Hold on. Maybe I'm not getting all his director credits here. Hold on. Oh yeah, okay. Director. Okay, director. Yeah, we just want director. Okay. I don't like the new IMDb. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it went
'cause
away.
Stupid,
Amazon
right?
buys shit and ruins it.
Yeah, what's up,
Oh,
Amazon? Stop
Amazon
buying
bought
shit
it?
and ruining it. What,
I didn't know
IMDb?
that. Yeah. I
Okay,
didn't know
so
that.
here we go. We got so Sweeney Todd, I saw that. Alice in Wonderland did not like. Dark Shadows, didn't even watch. I didn't know he directed the movie. I didn't realize that. Sorry, Tim Burton. I'll have to go back and watch it. Frankenweenie Love. The Killers
Frankenweenie.
Here With Me. Don't know what that is. Do you guys know?
No.
Big
Oh,
Eyes. I don't
yeah.
even remember him directing that.
I
Is,
saw
am I
Big
like,
Eyes. It was,
is this a
it was
Mandela?
okay. No,
Mrs.
Big Eyes.
Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I didn't realize he was the director of that movie either. They weren't like saying it was a Tim Burton
Yeah.
movie, were they?
Yeah, that movie
Shit.
was okay, but I realized that movie because of Eva Green.
I've missed out on a lot of Tim Burton movies. I'm a big fan of his. I watched for like I feel like I watched everything up to Sweeney Todd. I watched
Yeah.
Dumbo. I liked it. It wasn't,
I
don't
I
have a
wanna
real
watch-
soft spot for the original, so I didn't.
I don't think I could handle Dumbo.
You mean just because it makes you sad?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one made me cry a lot. Then we have Chelsea Grin, Blind Kings. What is? It's a music video. Okay. That's whatever. Wednesday Addams. So Wednesday was the last thing he directed before Beetlejuice.
I watched a little of that. It seemed.
I have not seen it, but a lot. Our friend Robbie liked it. I feel like Robbie, if you're watching this on the replay, let us know in the comments.
My ex Antonia loved it.
Yeah, a lot of folks loved it. And it
Oh,
was
wait a minute!
it
You
was
guys
like-
broke up?
Yeah, we broke up.
Oh, sorry.
A
I don't know
year
if Father
ago.
wants to talk about this on the
Oh,
air.
sorry,
fine.
sorry about that.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know. I
Public
didn't know. Sorry. Sorry, I didn't.
Let's.
I didn't know that. Sorry. Sorry about that.
Different people react
didn't
differently.
mean-
If you're cool with it, Father, that's fine. But
I didn't mean to touch I didn't mean to touch a sore spot.
hey, relationships are never really over. They just transfer into something else. So hopefully that's the case.
They just hit the pause button.
Or they just change. You got to be open to that change. Lots of good stuff is coming your way, Father, if it isn't already. I know it. I'm going to be a little bit psychic. I mean.
Psychotic? I
Are
think
you, are you
everybody
sure
does.
not psychotic?
Maybe a little bit of both. I agree. I don't know, what is Tim Burton's best movie so far? Is it Edward Scissorhands?
You know, Edward Scissorhands is a movie I haven't watched much in my
No,
adult
you know what?
life, but as a kid, I fucking loved that movie, and it made me cry like every time I watched it. But I still loved
You
it.
know what? You know what? For me, it's a tie between Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands. I really, really like the sort of Frankenstein parallels that Edward Scissorhands has.
Yeah.
Also,
also-
also,
Do
I
you
really
think they'll do
like.
an Edward Scissorhands part 2? I mean, that had a happy ending and doesn't need any more. I hope they never go back to Edward
Also,
Scissorhands.
I
Arthur
really-
says,
I really
first
like Sweeney Todd.
collaboration with Johnny Depp, right? That was like the first time they worked together.
Yeah.
And then
I
they
think
didn't
so.
work together again for like a long time, and then like they worked together like a shitload of times.
Mhm.
Are they still friends now, or are they not?
I
No,
haven't seen them like
I still-
chummy in pictures or anything, but
Is,
you know,
is
who
Johnny
knows?
Depp like making movies, or is he like staying away from work?
Let me find out on the new BS IMDb.
I think he's.
Oh,
I think
Wonka. He
he-
was in Wonka.
Yeah.
PJ just reminded us. That's right. He was in Wonka.
Yeah, but that was like 14,
he is.
14, 15 years after Edward Scissorhands.
I feel like Tim Burton goes through these muses,
Sleepy
right?
Hollow.
He has
He
he was in
Sleepy
Sleepy
Hollow,
Hollow.
and like
Yes.
that was like 98 or 99.
right,
You know
he plays
what?
Ichabod.
You know what?
I have
After
not seen the new Wonka, but I gather it's better than the Johnny Depp one based on.
Oh my
on
gosh,
the
can we go on a
reactions.
Wonka tangent? It is like
Do you
it
like
is
it?
it's like one of the most, and Trek on the Tube likes it too, by the way. But it is one of the most delightful, surprising movies I've seen in a long time. Timothy Chalamet is just so like good as I gotta like go on a Wonka thing here. It just makes me feel good, that movie. It's such a good hearted movie. It's so like
Good-hearted.
I recommend it highly. You haven't seen it, right, Fathery?
No, I have not.
I saw it. It's really good.
And you know, like, not that box office is an indicator of a good movie, but like it really surprised a lot of people with how it did at the box office, I thought.
Mhm.
But we'll transition into our we're gonna talk Doctor Who, but look at Wonka. He's so adorable, and he's not jaded yet, and angry, and he hasn't been like
Good day, sir.
but
he still has hope.
Yeah, it's cool because they made the character so much younger that like you can kind of see him turning into this guy like later on. It's like he's so young that it's okay for you could cast anyone really, as long as they have kind of a vague resemblance to to Gene Wilder. But yeah,
have
it
you
was
ever
really
seen that meme
really
of
good.
like if Doctor Who was an American property and who would have played the different doctors over the years? And
no, I don't think I've seen
in
that.
the Tom Baker era, like the 4th Doctor era, they had Gene Wilder would have been the Doctor.
That's perfect.
cool.
And he would have been like the most popular of the American doctors.
Speaking of Doctor Who, I think we can play the new Doctor Who trailer because it's a Disney Plus thing.
Yeah, we should.
I
can.
actually
haven't seen it.
Hint. I did my first live trailer reaction, and I have not gotten any claims yet, so I'm good. No, so
Oh, let me
I
pop that
haven't
shit
seen
on.
Any,
Yeah,
if you
throw
have
it up
any Warner Brother or any recent Warner Brother or Disney trailers you want to show? I haven't really seen any trailers lately, other than Kong versus Godzilla, whatever. What do we got here?
Then we're gonna switch into Doctor Who. I'm really excited about
And that
this.
Disney budget.
I know it's good. And why I'm kind of upset at the Avengers Tower thing, but whatever. I guess they're doing a lot of it.
Why couldn't Russell T Davies make it a regular building? Why don't you make it look like Avengers?
I mean,
what's that?
There's a lot of architecture like that in.
No,
London.
I know. I said
it
that.
Doesn't look that weird.
I said that. Why did Russell T Davies have to make it look like Avengers Tower? But I'm just being a dick.
All right, we're screening the Doctor Who trailer. Hopefully, we don't get a strike on this. Here you go,
Yeah,
Father.
you're
Your
good.
first reaction. Having your first reaction.
That's right. spinning around. Shooty, step out.
Give me the loving.
Give me the loving.
Where did he come from? I don't know. He sort
He's
of
very
popped up at the right
enthused.
moment.
I love the
And then he
Bowie
spoke
song in the
time
background.
Ruby.
Yep.
Oh,
my secret.
her
I
mom,
have the whole
her foster
universe
mom.
at my fingertips, and I'm all on my own. I'd love it if you came with me.
I would come with
Who are
him.
you?
I'm the
100%. Yes, you
Oh my
are.
God.
You are the
I
doctor.
like
Oh my
I like
god.
some of those
It's called the
outfits.
TARDIS.
I like
It's a
the
tiny
the
space
blue
machine.
Is
suit.
it safe?
No idea.
The time tunnel looks great.
What if I changed your suit by stepping on
Dinosaurs!
a butterfly?
Well, that's not gonna happen.
Oh, like this.
Oh, what's wrong?
The
That was
button-
pretty good.
Adventures. Never seen anything like this before.
Oh my Bridgerton!
Oh
This
my
place is
Bridgerton, nice
completely-
reference. They always do
Things
good
seem
pop
to be
culture
turning more and
references.
more
Yeah.
supernatural.
And they talk about Star Trek sometimes,
Hmm.
especially when Russell T Davies was in charge. So.
Right.
Run.
Wouldn't it be crazy if she said something about like Strange New Worlds or something? Like, what if
Wait,
the
listen to
first-
what they. Oh no, in X-Men 97 they said computer and program.
To the pit. This is what we're trying to stop. I'm still in, Mom. I need to know she'll be okay.
This part worries
I'm
me a
very
little bit.
happy to see the mom.
I
Yeah.
promise.
The mom and grandma were
It's
really
taken me
cool.
all this time to realize what
I'm so bummed she's only a one season.
I am
Companion.
so pissed. If Russell T Davis does not wrap up her story in a satisfying way, I'm gonna be
It's possible.
really upset. Yeah, but also, you know,
Boom.
Yeah,
All
they
right,
looked,
Father, what do
it
you think?
looked
You
very-
hyped?
Hey there,
It looked
best
like-
Trekkers. Star Trek has more than 40 seasons of
the hell was
television.
that? Can
That
y'all
was
hear
like
that?
a thing afterwards because it knows I'm a Trekkie, I guess.
Well, tell
anyway,
that shit
so-
to stop.
I did. I told it to stop.
But that looked like a very funky, fresh, different, big budget Doctor Who that I trust
Nuts.
because of Russell T Davies.
Nuts.
And
Yeah, it looks nuts.
If you're worried about Davies, he's played out. He's done Doctor Who too much. He did what three or four total seasons. Yeah, over two different
4 total
doctors,
seasons.
and
Mhm.
you know it's gonna be like two because a lot of people felt like Steve Moffat kind of got like a little too derivative towards the end. I think there's some validity in that. I love the Moffat era of Doctor Who. I
Yeah.
fucking
It's my
love it.
favorite
I love
era,
Matt
yeah.
Smith.
And
I
he's
love
coming-
Peter Capaldi.
Moffat's gonna do some
He's
stories,
coming
not
back!
just
And
Chris.
that's what
He's
I'm
doing
so
the
fucking
Christmas.
hyped about because yeah, Moffat did great work under Davies, and I was just
Yeah.
saying how this looks
Yeah,
like
I
so
agree.
fresh and different. It's not going to be derivative. It's and yeah, he has so much creative freedom, and like you know, it doesn't look like you know Disney is really having much influence based on
Except in the
on
money
what he's
department.
saying. So
Yeah.
I have no reason to doubt the show at this point. I'm very excited and looking forward to this season. This is the most excited I've been for Doctor Who since Moffat left.
Yeah.
Uh,
I actually,
Rex-
I actually,
go ahead, sorry,
yeah.
Marcel. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I am actually an apologist for Stephen Moffat because Stephen Moffat was responsible for my favorite Doctor, Matt Smith. So so I like Stephen Moffat too, and I like Father believe that Stephen Moffat is better when Russell is around. Russell T Davis. So
Yeah. So PJ was asking, is the franchise gaining or losing popularity? I'm one of the fans that kind of fell off on the Chris Chibnall era.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
Jodie Whittaker, but like the stories just weren't doing it.
The
for me.
the writing's
it
not
was,
good.
it was
Yeah.
so
They
bad. It was so
underserved
bad.
her as an actor.
Yeah, I agree.
I said in my trailer reaction that can be found on my channel, shameless plug.
No you can plug away and also
That,
don't forget Backtrack and
Plug
everyone.
away,
Yeah.
plug away.
Plug away. No,
away.
but I said in my reaction that it would have been really cool to see Jodie Whittaker be served better stories under of Russell T Davis, but unfortunately, she came there with her guy in Chris Chibnall, and she left with him. But I also want to mention that I still like Chris Chibnall as a writer. I don't think that he is. I don't think that he's right for Doctor Who, and I think that's what his mistake was.
Yeah, I don't know. I never liked his one-off episodes the best. I always loved Moffat's, and I think so. But there are a lot of. I think I have to just revisit now that like some time has passed, and like I have to just revisit the Chris Chibnall era. But like from which we're doing, by the way, everyone go check out Rassilon, Omega, and the Other Guy, which is a podcast I do with our friend Brian. Who's like a Who expert. So we'll go deeper, I'm sure, on these kinds of topics on that channel. But really, he's doing like, Time Lord lore is like kind of how that show's centered. But just overall, like, I feel like Chris Chibnall brought a lot to the Time Lord lore, but just not. There was a lot of great lore stuff that came. Yeah, there's a lot of great lore stuff that came into it, but just not a lot of substance with the character. I feel like the character,
not a lot of good stories. Just
exactly.
Most of the episodes were bland. There were occasionally good episodes, but most of them were just like bland, forgettable, boring sludges that I didn't like sitting through. I don't know why Chris Chibnall and his staff weren't able to produce better written episodes. I don't know if like they were getting a lot of pushback from BBC on stuff they were wanting to do or having to make last minute changes, or if he had to like fire people and replace them last minute or whatever. I have like no idea. Maybe he just like sucks as a writer. I don't know, but just like the product they produced, I think was of a poor grade, and the franchise suffered as a result.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I was going to ask you, have you ever seen Broadchurch, Fathery? Because that's...
I have not.
His show, right? But it's not Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I think...
No.
I think he just kind of went too ambitious, is what I think.
Right.
Like, and didn't take... I don't know. You find out things years later, like, oh, maybe he and Jodie didn't get along or whatever. But for whatever reason, it underserved the Doctor. And I thought it was really sad because it's the first female Doctor, and like a lot of people, unfortunately, on that hate train.
Very disappointing.
Yeah, the people on the hate train, unfortunately, who were like, "No, Doctor Who should never be a woman" or whatever. They kind of use this as as a reason why, but it's absolutely not the Doctor's fault. Jodie Whittaker was great.
No, it's not her fault.
But I'm glad we're not backpedaling from that, because it took Doctor Who was behind on that department.
Huge. Yeah, it's like
true. With Star Trek, we had a person of color as a lead and a woman as a lead, both in the 90s.
Yeah, Doctor Who's just breaking those boundaries now, which is kind of insane if you think about it.
I like that Russell T Davies is like, no, I'm gonna be a gay dude writing a show about a gay Doctor Who on.
I love it. Or queer at the least. I think Doctor Who's always been like queer a little bit, like not always, but at least recently has been a little queer.
He's not really like that sexually attracted to humans most of the time. You have to be like a really special human. You have to be like You have to be like Marilyn Monroe or Queen Elizabeth, or you're like
or Santa Claus Jeff. You got to be one of.
A River Song, who is
River Song,
kind of Time Lord-ish, but
exactly.
You got to be kind of special to be attractive to him, to his eye.
Or you have to be like a Rose Tyler type, maybe. Or do you think Rose?
Well, I don't really like that romance. I don't really. That was something in Russell T Davies that I and that was something that's actually. I'm glad you brought that up, Marcel. One of my concerns of Russell T Davies is that
he's going to try and put them together.
Well, no, his doctors, with the 9th Doctor and the 10th Doctor, they're very human. They're these very kind of they feel like a Earthman. They're like these like lonely romantic figures that like a woman could fall in love with. And I
Right.
prefer the Moffat style of like, no, these
an
guys are
alien.
fucking. This is
Yeah.
Matt
Oh.
Smith, Peter Capaldi. They're fucking weird ass creatures from
They're
another
fucking
planet.
weirdos.
They're just kind of shaped like a human, but they're a
Kinda shaped
fucking
like
like
a human.
weird
They're weird as
ass
hell. Yeah.
alien.
Yeah,
And
I agree with this.
I feel like that's more of a Doctor Who tradition.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I don't want Shooty to come off that way. So I like him being so kind of just kind like atypical in like his fashion. You know, the first time we see him, he's wearing a skirt and stuff, and I like that. But
Kilt.
I hope
that was a kilt. He was wearing a kilt, Father.
Oh
I'm
well,
pretty sure it was a
I
kilt.
want like that weirdness. I want him to be like, you know, Matt Smith with the felt on, or like, you know, some shit like that. You know, like give me that bizarre Doctor Who strangeness.
Yeah, I think I think Shooty is going to be very, very, very off center. I was talking to a friend of the show's a little bit before we came on, and one thing that we were talking about, I was talking to Geek. I don't know if you guys have not
Yeah, he's a friend of the show.
spoken to him in a while.
Geek.
But I was
Geek
talking to
Review,
I was
shout
talking to
out.
Geek. I was talking to Geek, and he was kind of worried because throughout the trailer, Shooty changes his clothes a lot. So
Yeah.
Geek said, "Oh, there's a kilt." Geek said, "I kind of really wish that he like had the traditional doctor uniform, like Matt Smith had the
No,
jacket, the bow
no.
tie, the suspenders." And he was kind of worried that Shooty was gonna like change his clothes like every episode. I'm like,
But that might be his thing. Like maybe he doesn't have a set look. Maybe he'll be like the
I
one
like that.
Doctor who had a different outfit every episode.
yeah, maybe he will. So I don't know how Geek is gonna feel about that, and I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that, but we're gonna have to wait and see, I guess.
There's a tradition
Oh,
also of Doctor Who's wearing kilts and
kilts?
things like that. Yeah, here's the Doctor Who wearing a kilt.
Well, that's
David
David
Tennant?
Tennant wearing
No, I
it in
know.
real
David.
life.
But Patrick Troughton, who played the second Doctor, had a Scottish companion, and he was wearing a kilt often.
Oh yeah, Jamie
Jamie, yeah, exactly. Who I love.
Jamie
Jamie's-
McCormick.
Yeah, Jamie.
Yeah, he was
oh,
a cool
shit.
companion.
Yeah, Jamie was pretty cool.
He was the longest running male companion, I believe.
I would love for this new Doctor Who to go back and have a proper romance with Jamie. It would be great if that occurs. But here he is so it is a kind of a nondescript kilt, I think, Father, but he's definitely wearing a kilt, not a skirt.
Okay, I
No, it's a
believe
kilt.
you.
It's definitely a kilt.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm
but
so
I
excited
am
about. I like the idea that he doesn't have a set outfit. I think that would be a really cool thing. We've seen him in so many different outfits, though. Oh my god, you can see why I fell in love with Jamie as a kid. I think Jamie and Peter from the Beatles. I mean, from the Monkeys were my first crushes. But yeah, as a kid, Jamie.
And he comes back later in some of the specials they did, in some of the crossovers with the second
Mhm.
Doctor.
And the actor is great. He's still alive. I met him at a Doctor Who themed convention like way back a few years ago. But
He was
very
really
great.
young in the 60s. He'd be old
Yeah,
now.
he was very young. Hey, we all get old. I'm getting older too. That's a
Yeah. Listen, and also, if you think about it, one day, my glorious friends that are here with me now, one day we'll all be dead, and the only thing left,
No,
of
we're
us
like
will be
Riker.
these
We're gonna
little
live forever
vlogs.
because people are gonna discover as long as YouTube doesn't start deleting accounts that are inactive, people will discover this like hella
but
years
also,
later after we're
yeah,
gone.
but
It's
also,
kind of crazy.
yeah. Also, I had that conversation with a family member because they were like, I was like, you know what? You know, special thing about me when I'm dead and gone and the cockroaches are eating my skin, those people who want to see me will have hours of videos, hours of podcasts. They will be able to see me if they want to every day. That's assuming that a nuclear bomb doesn't hit Google or any place where I upload my stuff. But I was like, people that are on social media today and do our kind of stuff, in that way, we're kind of like actors. We'll pass away, but we'll never really go anywhere.
yeah, there's gonna be all this stuff of us left behind.
Mm.
Speaking of which, our friend Robbie, who's like 20 years younger than all of us,
Oh my
maybe
god,
more. I think he's more.
I love that.
Actually, it's bigger. I'm gonna give you my passwords when I'm really old, Robbie. You got to keep the channel active so that YouTube doesn't delete us. And then it's like a brotherhood. Robbie will pass it on to the next. Like he'll find someone who's like 100 years younger than him when he's old, and he
Oh
keeps
my
passing
God.
on all of our YouTube passwords so that like they just keep the account out. They'll like upload random shit or old videos.
If I don't make it to first contact day, I need someone to take my ashes to Bozeman and scatter
Oh
me.
my gosh, me too. Oh, that's a great Father. Robbie, you've got a lot. Poor Robbie, we're gonna just put just because he's so young, we're gonna put all this on his shoulders.
No,
There you
actually,
go.
no, but no,
As,
no,
as
no,
if
but no,
the
but
previous generations didn't fuck them over enough already. We're gonna
I
burden
know.
them even more.
You know what? If there was any ever a reason to get rich, it's to take care of the next generation, like folks like Robbie. So I'm gonna
or
try
to
to get
buy a
rich.
cool suit like that.
Yeah.
What would y'all do if I came on Text Trek Friday and I was wearing that on camera?
I would love it, Father. I would adore it if
no,
you
I
dressed
know.
like that. It's
You know
very
what?
awesome.
You know what? I think it would look good on you, Father. But I really like Ruby's number here with the black and the whiteness here. I like that suit.
I don't think
I don't
would
want to
wear that
speculate,
'cause
but I'm
it-
really hoping that Ruby doesn't fall to a bad end. I think this doctor, he's like the first doctor in a weird way, and I hope he saves her. I hope we don't go back to that
I-
trope of like the doctor
You know
loses
what?
his companions and all the angst and all that stuff.
that was kind of a real
You know
modern
what?
thing that didn't really happen in
I'm-
the old days.
Yeah.
very
I'm
often.
thinking that if she doesn't meet a bad ending, which I hope she doesn't, but I'm thinking that she's gonna get stuck somewhere.
I
I'll
don't know.
Rose.
I wouldn't know. I don't think he's gonna redo that Marcelo. I think that's too on the nose, don't you?
I don't know. It might be, but I don't want her to go, and she's just gonna go after. Oh, so pissed.
She's so
Ugh.
sweet in that first episode, the Christmas special. I just
Yeah,
fell in
she
love
was
with her
great.
character right away.
I don't
It's-
know if I
Yes.
really understand what the deal is with the doctor now. So this is like doctor number what? 14?
15 technically. He's the
15?
15th
Okay,
doctor,
because
yeah.
14 was Tenet again. But there's still 14 is still active out there. Like he's still
Yeah.
and he has his own TARDIS. So there's 2 doctors right now.
Well, yeah, but did you see that one TARDIS with the flowers sitting there abandoned in that one scene? Did you guys catch that in the trailer? Did you clock that?
No.
Here, I'll
No.
show you. Watch. Oh, okay, we gotta go back to the trailer. So I wonder if that's the 14th Doctor's TARDIS. I wonder if he just chose not to regenerate.
It
and
kind
gave
of feels to me, and I don't know, maybe other people think this, or maybe this has already been like disproven, but it kind of feels to me like they have the option of like, okay, this is just going to be like the Disney Plus Doctor, and then if they ever wanted to just like jettison all of this and go back to like doing whatever they want to do on the BBC, they can just like do that with their 14th David Tennant Doctor and just
I'm pretty sure they will
I-
not
I-
do
I
that,
don't
but you're
think
right.
so.
There
I
is
don't
like a
think so.
weird option there.
did
That's
they
an
do
interesting thing,
that to give themselves that option, I wonder.
That's a really good theory, but I'm with our friend here at the bottom, the guy controlling the switches. I don't think they would do that, but that's a really interesting theory you got there, Father.
Joel says who
Really?
canonist would riot, but
Yeah.
they riot all the time anyways because they don't.
No, Doctor Who's pretty. Doctor Who like has a really loosey goosey.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to really like turn
Yeah.
the apple carts over about. It's like
I
there's
mean,
no
you know.
official like word on what is or what isn't canon. It's just like either officially released from BBC or not officially released.
Exactly, but like
Yeah.
this is a BBC. I think this is like 100% canon. Okay, so let me just show you guys something from the trailer, which I'm wondering. I hadn't thought of that about this before, but now I'm
What?
wondering. Hold on, share this tab instead. Make sure it's the Disney Plus one.
Okay, Joel,
cool.
I'm pretty sure the Peter Cushing one is not canon. I'm pretty sure that can be. That's like an exception. That's like
That character-
That's the exception that proves the rule.
that character is known as Doctor Who. Like wherever all the other characters are called just the Doctor, but that one is
Well,
Doctor Who. No, he said.
I think I think they're all actually called Doctor Who, and there is precedence for that I can bring up, but
all right, if you insist, but I don't.
including
think
like Missy being like, oh yeah, like his real name is Doctor Who, but he just thought it would sound cooler if he called himself the Doctor, so he started doing that.
I missed that
ever
line. Missy said that, and
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Oh, okay.
And also, who was it? Like that supercomputer that was going after the second Doctor, and it said, "Bring me Doctor Who."
no, but
you're right.
I've
Okay,
always
good point,
thought
good point.
I've always thought that Doctor Who
Good.
is a
I always forget how much Father
is
knows
a,
about
it was
Doctor
like,
Who.
was like alias for him.
I mean, it is, but I say like there's also enough evidence to suggest that we can read it as that's his actual or like real name is Doctor Who, and I say that Star Trek has the character called the Doctor. He's played by Bob Picardo on Star Trek Voyager. That is the Doctor in science fiction. If I say the Doctor, I'm referring to Bob Picardo's Star Trek character, and Doctor Who is the name of the guy in Doctor Who.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. Good points all around. My cat's here, by the way. He's saying hello, everyone. This is Arthur. I don't know, but let me just pause this right at the scene. Did I pass the scene? I don't think I passed it yet. But I love this trailer. It's very exciting. I miss trailers like this for Doctor Who too, by the way, which I feel like
I'm ready
there's
to
a
fight
difference
some
now.
There was
Whovians
no
now.
You're ready to
I'm ready to throw down with the Whovians.
Father,
I'm
you-
ready to throw down with the Whovians.
I'm gonna bust out some Irish rebel songs. I'm about to start singing "Come Out, You
Oh,
Born
Black
on a
Man."
Black Sunday, me mother. Do you guys know Black
No.
47, the band Black 47?
Man, have you ever seen that movie?
I've heard
Black
of them before.
47.
No, is it good? I think that's what it
If
must
you
be
want to
based.
be
Well, it's
fucking
based on
depressed
the.
about
yeah.
the fucking potato famine,
Yeah. Obviously, it's a reference to the potato famine. I was gonna say
it's
but
kind of like
yeah.
revenge porn. It's kind of like if you want to watch like a dude go
There it is.
just like Clint Eastwood fucking like revenge on a bunch of
Oh,
British soldiers. Okay, we got
so
old TARDIS.
so you're thinking that is David Tennant's TARDIS?
Well, I'm
Could
just
be.
wondering because look, it has flowers at the base, like someone's tending to it. It's like a grave. And remember in Trenzalore, the Doctor's grave was the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Remember, like, so I wonder
Right.
if that's
Right.
which would make Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor the first Doctor in a weird way, because another Doctor died.
Mhm.
It's really sad to think about it, but I
Right,
think that's
right,
like a not a bad idea to kind of put a kibosh on the idea you had earlier about two Doctors having stories. You know what I mean? Like I kind of like it
I
kind of
think,
bothered.
I think Russell. I'm sorry. I think Russell wrote himself into a corner when he wanted to give David Tennant's Doctor and the Doctor Donna a happy ending. I think he wrote himself into a corner that he can't really explain, no matter what he says.
Also, I love. Just want to say Ruby's looks, like all her different looks in this like little clips, like this clip that they show here. Hold on.
Yeah.
Here we go. Like there's all her different looks. So there's something going on.
That's
Like
my thumbnail. Yeah.
I love it. That's the Bridgerton look or whatever. And what's going on here? It's crazy. There's some crazy special effects, like what you were
Do
saying.
they have
Father.
an AR wall? Does
They
Bad
must
Wolf
have.
Studios have an AR wall?
Yeah. They have
Or
to. Have.
is there access to one?
Look at the catchphrase though. When you can change time, it used to be like time can be rewritten, but when you can change time, everything is possible. That's like the tagline. So it's very interesting where they're
I
going
like
with
that.
this.
That's a really good tagline.
It's very, very interesting.
That's a great tagline.
But yeah, I like that. Doctor Who is starting to become like a bit stale. I think the Chibnall era felt very stale to me, and this feels like just such a
Breath of fresh air.
breath of fresh air. Exactly, Marcelo.
Yeah.
Joel says Doctor Who always makes me long for a Neil Gaiman Trek episode. The Doctor's Wife is so damn good. I agree. What would Neil
Gaiman
Gaiman
wrote a B5 episode too.
What?
Yeah.
Babylon 5?
Yeah.
Did he write a Star Trek? Is there a Star Trek? Is Neil Gaiman interested in Star Trek?
Oh, I don't know. Probably.
Oh, ooh, I would love a Neil Gaiman. Maybe that's something. What show would be ideal? Discovery would have been good for that, but what show would be ideal now? I guess the Academy could do something, or maybe Strange New Worlds could do a Gaiman episode.
I'd like for him to write a Star Trek comic because I really like Neil Gaiman's comic.
Doing
books.
his comics, yeah, it's true. Speaking of which, are we gonna get a Sandman season 2? Is it happening? Do you
I
guys
want
know?
Gaiman
Yes.
to write
Yes.
Picard.
Oh, good. Okay.
I want
Oh my
something with
God.
Yeah,
Picard.
yeah.
Either like a
Yeah.
comic.
If
book
Neil
form or
Gaiman had
something live
done-
action with Patrick
If
Stewart.
Neil Gaiman had done Star Trek Picard season 2, I think that would have been like amazing. Like he had been the
Yeah,
show.
like-
Like if they kept the tradition of
ooh,
hiring writers, like
give-
imagine.
Imagine like Gaiman
No,
doing like
no,
season
No,
2.
give him season 1.
No, give
No,
give
season
him,
1 was perfect with
give him
Siobhan, but
season
yeah.
2 with Q.
All right. Louis Chabad.
Give him season 2 with what?
Q.
Oh my gosh, he would have been
Q-
perfect.
Q
He does
and,
the gods
and
so
Patrick
well.
Stewart together.
Oh my
You
gosh.
could do like Sandman type shit, and you could have Picard quoting Shakespeare and Q being like Morpheus, and just Gaiman could do some insane fucking shit with that.
I hereby say that I like Star Trek Picard as it is, but now from this moment forward, my one regret is that they didn't
holy
do season
fuck.
2. It would have been
Holy
amazing.
Fuck, so
What?
these movies, these made for streaming movies that Alex Kurtzman says they want to keep doing these after
Doing-
Section 31, like do one with
What?
John Delancey, Patrick Stewart, and
Neil
written
Gaiman.
by Neil Gaiman.
Oh my gosh, let's make it show. Make it from your lips to Alex Kurtzman. See, here's Swathery. Let's do it. Make it show. That would be amazing, guys.
That'd be really cool. That'd be really cool.
That would be neat, I think.
Mr. Gaiman, if
Yeah.
you're watching
No,
this,
but I do.
you're summoned.
They could do some cool things with like these anthology movies. I think they could do some neat
He could
stuff.
he could also handle the Q continuum finally. Like I feel like Neil Gaiman's sense of like, lore when it comes to
Oh,
like
if he
deities
wrote
and
like a
s-
book,
yeah.
if he wrote like
Oh my
if he wrote
gosh.
like a Star Trek novel that like really kind of explored the ins and outs of the Q continuum. I know that there's been novels previously that have explored that. I know like Peter David did that with a I don't know that the Q something. I don't know, the big famous Peter David Q book. Joel probably knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, I feel like Gaiman could also really knock that shit out of the park.
Oh look, Joel's saying Gaiman should have done DS9, best thing ever. I've seen Gaiman on stage in St. Paul. Will Wheaton called in and did some stuff. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. I think
That's cool.
Neil Gaiman's been flirting with Star Trek. He needs to just go ahead and start making out with Star Trek. Mr. Gaiman, please start making love to Star Trek. We need you.
Mr. Gaiman.
Mr. Gaiman.
Bring me a treat.
A dream. Oh my gosh. So going back to Beetlejuice for a second. I mean, sorry, Tim Burton for a second. Our text message audience sent us. I didn't know there was a Timothy Chalamet Winona Ryder Super Bowl ad in 2021. I missed that.
Is there? I missed
Where
it.
he played Edward Scissorhands. Do you think I could play
What?
that without getting a copyright strike? Should I put it on the screen? Should I put it on? We'll put it
you
on
could
screen.
try.
That's Christopher Lloyd's voice there.
You try. Throw it up there.
All right, let's see. This might get us canceled, guys. So
Oh.
if the stream gets dropped, then we did a good
You
2
know who
hours
to
almost.
blame.
We're at 1 hour and 47 minutes.
I do like the 47s.
We love the 47. So here we
You're
go. We're gonna
obsessed with
try it.
47, father.
We're gonna try it. Let's see what happens. Let's, hopefully we can play this. Industria movies. Let's see here. Let me put it up on screen. Wow, I'm kind of drunk, guys. I haven't drank in like 2 weeks, so it's a nice thing. All right, here we go. Let's put this full screen and.
This is the story of a boy with scissors.
Oh, I do remember this actually
No,
now.
not
Sorry,
that
I do
one.
remember.
Edgar, you're gonna be late.
This one. My son, Edgar. Hi, sweetie.
It implies that Edward had a son.
Oh.
It's Edgar Scissorhands.
How magnets of opposite poles can actually.
I don't remember seeing this.
Yo, Edgar!
I don't remember seeing this at all.
I kind of vaguely remember this. He's perfect. He should play Edgar in a
The new
movie.
Scissorhands,
Hey,
yeah.
buddy.
I just love Timothy Chalamet. I can't help
Stick with
it.
the menu.
He's
Aw.
he's a really good actor. He's a brilliant actor.
Not end.
Could you imagine being born with scissor hands? Like that must have been crazy. like, sorry.
Open.
Oh god, then it's a car commercial, of
Go ahead,
course.
try it.
YouTube put these like this
And
end
Edgar
screen
drove
up really
off into
early.
the
But I'm
sunset.
glad.
But don't worry, he still makes it home in time for dinner. Occasionally.
All right, whatever. That was cute. It was cute.
That's
I don't
cool.
think I remember
I-
seeing it exactly like that. but
I
okay.
yeah, I don't remember that. Why did that air during this year's Super Bowl?
No, 2020 it said, or 2021.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that at all.
So it was like 3 years ago. Yeah, I don't remember it either.
Oh, 3 years ago. Okay.
Yeah. But guys, we're
really
coming up to 2
long.
hours. I don't know. What did we miss? Did we miss anything else? Audience, tell us if there's something we had to talk about in pop culture that we didn't talk about. But I think I'm ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
What
I'm
about
ready to get a
y'all?
drink. I'm ready to get a drink.
Ruben's been playing video games. I've been in communications with him, so he'll probably click the link like in an hour and then be like, "Oh, no one's here." so shout out to Ruben. He doesn't have a channel or anything, but he's a cool guy and he's making a movie.
Oh,
what's that?
Ruben is actually I do streams with Ruben over on my own channel. He's been a guest on a couple Buffy episodes. He was on Prophecy Girl, and he was on the episode called The Pact. So he's a
Okay.
really cool guy.
Yeah, he
so.
is a cool guy.
Sorry, I
Uh,
keep
Fa-
plugging my shit.
Father, I got to go back and finish watching tonight's text track. How was it?
It was a lot of fun. We were
Looked-
having a
it
good
looked fun
time
when I watched first.
reflecting on the previous 4 seasons of Star Trek Discovery. So if people want to check that out, you can go find that on Text Track. And
It's fresh. It's still there. You can watch it right away. It's the
Yeah.
newest text track, so go check it out.
or if you want to wait till Monday, you can listen to it on your podcast platforms.
You're so good at that. I have to catch up on so many episodes of my podcast. I'm still uploading TNG episodes. If you can believe it. But tomorrow night tomorrow afternoon, sorry, we're gonna do the animated series. Are you on? Are you coming over?
That's
for that
right.
one,
Oh,
or
I
you
have
just-
such a busy day tomorrow. Yeah.
We'll
So
see
it's
if
gonna
you
be-
can
it's
make
gonna
it.
be a
All
lot
right.
of
Hopefully you can
fun.
make it. All right, cool. Oh, you will make it. You're gonna come on for the
Yeah.
Albatross. All right, sweet. Marcelo, what's going on in your vast and prolific podcast
Yeah.
universe?
Yeah, no, like I said, on my YouTube channel that I've been promoting like hell this evening. Thank you for letting me, Captain
Of
my
course,
captain.
you free reign, both of you. Just go like interrupt me at times and just
Oh.
plug your channels. It's
No,
fine.
that's good. No, that's fine.
It's totally fine.
No, but on my YouTube channel, Balloon Head Productions, I just recently wrapped up watch alongs for the complete first season of Dawson's Creek and the complete first season of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I've also started reviewing Star Trek Voyager season 1. Last week I did Caretaker Part 1, and either tomorrow or Sunday Caretaker Part 2 will go up as well. So, and also one of my podcasts, the Mixtape Podcast, where I talk about film from a writer's perspective, it's just close to 300 subscribers. So thank you to anybody who supports that channel. It's much appreciated. So
I forgot to
But yeah.
say, if you're watching this now or in the replay, don't forget to hit the like button, and then confound the algorithm and all of that good stuff and subscribe. We're back, Starfleet, Sohail, and friends After Dark show. I love it. I love the new iteration. I love that we're back. I love you guys. Father, you were gonna say something. The watch along on Discord. I think you posted it in the chat.
Well, yeah. If anyone wants to watch the Albatross episode of the animated series,
When are you gonna watch it, tomorrow morning or when?
I can watch it tomorrow morning if I get up in time. I'm gonna go get coffee with someone at 10 a.m. I think I'm just
Ooh.
gonna watch it right now
Ooh.
before bed.
Really? I'm
Yeah.
gonna go on Discord and watch it with you. So yeah,
Okay.
whoever's still
So
up,
anyone
let's
who,
go. Yeah.
but I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna start it in like 5 minutes at
Well,
12:37
can we wait 10 minutes
Central.
because I need to go to the bathroom and stuff like that? Can we
Okay,
do
at
10 minutes?
12:42.
All right, sweet. Yeah,
12:42.
Joel's down too. Very cool.
Okay.
Marcel, are you on the Text Trek Discord? Do you do Discord?
No, Discord Discord is the one thing that confounds me. So I'm not
Okay.
I'm not a Discord guy. But
Well,
you guys
you're
have
always
fun.
welcome if you
Well,
want to come kick it in.
well,
there,
Yeah,
you're
and if
always
you
welcome.
and if you end up watching the Albatross of the animated series and you want to come on the show tomorrow, we're at 3 p.m. Eastern, so you're welcome to join us as well.
Yeah,
We'll have the
yeah.
sub commander, and I think Aaron Harvey's coming. We only have 2 more episodes after that. By the way, I just want to shout out to Aaron Harvey, who's an amazing human being and like the leading expert on the animated series. I'm so blessed that he's on so many episodes of my animated series
We're
discussions.
all blessed that he did so much work getting the
Yeah.
animated series the recognition it deserves.
I know. I hope he gets the recognition he deserves. I think he does get a lot of recognition, but I feel like he can get more. So yeah, cheers to kudos
Yeah.
to Aaron.
Yeah, but if I can ever figure out Discord, I will definitely stop by every now and then, check out the Text Track Discord. But I can never figure it out. So
We'll figure it out. You know, Ruben's an expert on Discord, and I know y'all.
I should
hang
ask
out.
him. I should ask him.
Yeah, you should
I
totally
need to
get him to help
bots.
you.
I need to get bots set up so that like
Bots?
whenever one of our channels has like a new video out, it'll just like automatically post in there.
Oh, that'd be
Oh my
cool.
god, this
But-
is legit. We
but-
should
no,
do
but
this campaign.
No, but aren't there like social media like services that you can actually subscribe to, and they'll push out your material to like all your social media accounts at
No,
one
know
but
time?
how any
there
of that
needs to
works.
be. But if there is, I don't know. Like everyone always tells me,
Yeah.
like, isn't there something that does that? And I'm like, I don't know. Is there? Like, you tell me. I don't. If there is, I don't know about it.
Yeah, you
There's
should do
things,
some
but
re-
they're
you
like,
should do
as far
research
as
on
I
it.
know from my career in that area, is that they're super expensive. It's not worth.
Yeah.
I just will do the work and just post it everywhere. I think also the algorithm, which we always try to confound, gets confounded when you do things not using robots.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Well, I need to go get this TAS episode.
Yeah, you get
set
that
up,
ready.
so-
See y'all in 10 minutes. Whoever's watching, Fathery.
All right, guys,
and
have fun.
Marcelo. This was so much fun. Thanks for joining us. Live long and prosper, everyone, and we will see you next time.